Badass mayor says we're officially at war and issues unbelievable ban, doesn't care who it offends. Thanks to the reckless antics of globalist leaders across the world, terror groups like ISIS are quickly gaining momentum towards their goal of establishing a global Islamic Caliphate. We've seen the horrifying results of these barbarians infiltrating countries across Europe posed as refugees, as terror attacks are now becoming a daily occurrence in places like the UK and Germany, as they're now setting their sights on other westernized countries. But one badass female politician in the form of Rome's mayor is grabbing ISIS by the balls, in a brutal proclamation that has liberals losing their minds and the rest of us giving this brave woman a huge pat on the back. What many people don't realize is that Rome is considered to be the grand prize of conquest among ISIS and other Muslim terror groups, as it's home to the Vatican and is considered by many Muslims as the symbolic place that Christianity was founded. ISIS recently declared war on the Vatican in their manifesto, which outlined their intricate plans for invading Rome, as this location is dubbed the final campaign of Islam's crusaders. Here's an excerpt of their manifesto, where their chilling plan for the city and people of Rome is laid out. It will be broken and defeated, just as all your previous campaigns were broken and defeated, except that this time we will raid you thereafter, and you will never raid us. We will conquer your Rome, break your crosses, and enslave your women, by the permission of Allah, the Exalted. This is his promise to us, he is glorified and he does not fail in his promise. If we do not reach that time, then our children and grandchildren will reach it, and they will sell your sons as slaves at the slave market. Knowing that her city is on ISIS target as terrorism begins to rapidly escalate across Europe, the mayor of Rome, Virginia Raggi, is now taking a page straight out of Trump's playbook, calling for an immediate ban to be put in place to keep these Christian-hating vermin out of her country. In a truth-filled tirade to the Italian government, Raggi is demanding that the government immediately halts immigration to the city, calling for a moratorium on immigrants to her city, saying, "I find it impossible, as well as risky, to think up further accommodation structures." Her request came after realizing how ISIS is rapidly taking over Europe by infesting the refugee populace, and the strong migratory presence and the continued influx of foreign citizens has her extremely concerned. According to recent figures published by Italy on January 1, 2016, Rome is rapidly being invaded by Muslim migrants, where 364,632 foreign-born people registered as living in Rome last year alone, in a city that only has a metropolitan population of about 4.35 million. Foreigners now represent a startling 8% of the population now in Rome. Heat Street reported. According to the 2016 census, Italy has a population of about 60.5 million. However, it has experienced a steady flow of African and Middle Eastern migration from Libya in recent years, almost certainly blurring the true picture of how many people live in the country. Figures released by the National Institute for Statistics in Italy, ISTAT, today state that more than 5 million people living in the country are foreign-born, equivalent to about 8.3% of the national population. About half of Rome's foreign-born population is from Europe, with Romania the best represented country. On a national level, European immigrants are thought to account for more than 50% of the total foreign-born population. Thank God someone with common sense is finally standing up in Europe and demanding a halt to this massive influx of Muslim refugees be stopped. It's absolutely ridiculous that ISIS is able to publicly broadcast their plans for invading the West in their manifesto, and liberals are still hell-bent on letting more of these 6th-century barbarians in, while lecturing the rest of us that wanting bans put in place makes us racists and bigots.